Last question I have: what is the industry not talking about right now in electrification?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing the industry doesn't talk about, including, sometimes the supplier set, folks like us, is really complexity, right? We are trying to drive EV adoption collectively as a EV community, if you want to call it a broad community here. But we have to acknowledge that it is complex. It's complex not because it's complex. It's complex because it's also new. A lot of people are navigating this for the first time. A lot of the fleet managers get into this saying, hey, I know diesel, I know gasoline. I've done this for whatever, 20, 30, 40 years, but electrification is something new, right? So there's a complexity with the newness, but there's also a complexity just in general being able to manage everything that we talked about, right? Vehicles and how they need to operate, charging and how you manage charging, the infrastructure and what you need there to get that ready and going and future proofed. So and then maintaining these assets, right? Maintaining them to make sure they're reliable and you can deliver uptime. These are all not as simple as it's made to be. And suppliers will not want to talk about it because they're afraid customers might move back. Customers may not acknowledge it because they themselves don't want to tell their senior management, hey, this thing is pretty complicated. And so that becomes the most ignored piece. And where Camber really comes in is, I mean, this is a unique phrase that we've actually come to realize and coined, I would say pretty recently, is Camber's unique value proposition is familiarity meets complexity. Right? So we've done this before. We're pretty familiar with. I'm not saying we've done everything, right? But
Yeah.
we've done a lot of good things. We are familiar with some of the complexity that customers are going to face as they try and get into this electrification journey, and we can get ahead of that, help them plan better, give them the right choices and the right tools to make sure they can minimize. It's not going to go away, but it's how do you minimize and manage around the complexity so that you have a seamless transition to electrification.